and welcome to the basement of Brett Anderson in Morgantown, West Virginia, for a little presentation on gender in leadership. Just to introduce the topic, again, leadership is a part of our everyday lives. We lead and follow in just about all that we do. We want to talk a little bit about how past experiences play a large role in who we are as leaders and as followers. We also want to go into how females are underrepresented in leadership in just about all major aspects of life, especially pertaining to athletics, politics, the corporate world, other than some things such as motherhood, where obviously they take on a very large role. Some anecdotes from sport. Coaches have a profound impact on their athletes via the use of terminology and the development of mindsets. They have the ability to build and also, not build safe spaces for female athletes, and which can ultimately lead to barriers. Women are often overlooked, disregarded, and a massive opportunity is missed in the growth of leadership and program growth because we aren't putting the time into these women and we aren't investing in them for them to be able to invest in themselves. What we've seen from the literature is that there are multiple perspectives, different viewpoints, biases, balancing each other out is only good for the development of our programs, our corporations, and our teams. Men and women do indeed lead in similar ways, but with women providing more growth, empathy, support, compassion, and rationality, which to me is only a positive thing. There are also numerous examples of greater organizational success when women or people of color have been put into these areas of leadership, and ultimately their companies and organizations thrive. Some of the females of sport that have inspired me, I look at people like Dr. Kristen Diefenbach, Katie Stone, Marla Gladstone, Shannon Miller, Brianne McLaughlin, a good friend of mine, as people who have been pioneers, who are leading national teams, are leading varsity sport. They've been very, very successful, and yet the examples of them are very, very few and far between. I look at the players of the U.S. and Canadian national hockey programs, as well as the Professional Women's Hockey Association, on their stand that they've taken as leaders to say, no, we are gonna take a hit money-wise right now, because we know that we deserve more, and we know that we can get more, and this is what we need to do to build the game. And places like the National Hockey League are taking note of that, and money is starting to come their way, as it should. Women's sport is also the fastest growing demographic in North America. And in order for that to continue, we need more female leaders to keep growing, providing mentorship, and to build the game. Unfortunately, there are a great deal of barriers. For one thing, women aren't being provided the opportunity, despite qualifications and their education levels, which have been shown to go hand in hand with good leadership in many cases. Women are tasked with greater responsibilities than men overall. And again, a lot of this comes with being a mother. A lot of this comes with being community leaders and people that are very, very supportive of others. There's a lack of use in the current literature on the subject. Legislation has not been used in a manner that is conducive to what the literature is finding. And then lastly, we've got an old boys club, primarily of white old men, who don't view women as leaders and use excuses to exclude them from appointed positions. Some solutions moving forward. If we can build allies with male counterparts who will advocate on the women's movement, I believe that would be huge. Hearing that coming out of a male's mouth as opposed to a woman's, at the end of the day, now you're seeing it from both perspectives. A lot of men aren't hearing things the right way because all they're hearing it from is women. Well, we need to build those allies, and we need to build them with people that are very, very prominent in our community. We need more research on the matter. That's just the way it is. And then once we get there, we need to be lobbying for greater use of the literature in legislation with the government. We need to build the women's game via female leadership, inspire young women to continue and build pathways to the top. And we need to provide safe, female-only spaces to learn, grow, and feel comfortable in their journey. Here are the references I've included here for my paper and for my presentation. And lastly, I want to leave you with this picture of Brianne McLaughlin. One of the reasons that I've been inspired to join in this movement and to present and write on this topic. We need more people like Brianne who are spearheading the movement to bring NCAA hockey back to Pittsburgh, and who are willing to take a stand for women's rights, for women's leadership, and growing the game. Thank you very much. God bless America.